So welcome to another lesson of Tools of the Trade. I want to talk about three tools today. The first is what I'll call the crescent wrench or the adjustable wrench. You can kind of use this little spindle here and it kind of makes it smaller and bigger. You kind of see that I got into something with this one working on some plumbing the other day. Another nice tool is what I refer to as wire cutters, wire pliers. And then these are also called needle nose pliers. So these are some nice little tools to have around the house. It's hard to have a tool for every situation, so these tools are very versatile in what they do. Having a just wrench, these days, when you're talking about wrenches, there's metric wrenches and also customary wrenches. To have all those tools in your toolbox can be very expensive. And having a couple of nice little size crescent wrenches can cover a lot of ground. The trick with them is that they do have a tendency to, if you're not real careful, you can strip out your bolts where it becomes kind of an expensive job to get that fixed. So this is a nice little wrench to have around the house. The wire cutters are also a nice little tool to have around the house. They can cut wire. They can also what we refer to as strip wire. So if you're doing some simple electrical work around the house, these are nice to have around the house. For me, a lot of times, it's about things like this, these little zip ties. It's nice to have a pair of these to cut little zip ties because, scissors sometimes don't have that little sharp pointed edge there, and this allows me to get on there and, cut a lot of zip ties and stuff like that. Another tool that is very handy is needle nose pliers. If you have a pair of needle nose pliers and a little knowledge of electrical work, and YouTube can solve a lot of that for you just watching a few minutes of video on YouTube. Bringing an electrician in can cost you, upwards $75 an hour. Really almost like a minimum charge of $75 for a visit. And if all it is just a faulty socket, replacing a wall socket is not that hard to do. Watch a 10-minute video on YouTube, having a tool like this, you can probably change out a wall socket and stuff like that. My dad gave me a lot of confidence to do things like that, and I still do a lot of it, but every once in a while, if you've been electricity, it can be a puzzle, and that's why you bring in the big guy. He can solve a problem because these guys have been around so long that they can fix your some of your electrical work pretty simply. But like I said, changing out a light switch or a wall socket, they're not that expensive to buy at the store, and they're really not that hard to replace if you just have a little bit of confidence in yourself. So that's going to conclude my lesson on tools of the trade. Be brave, be bold, and give it a shot to be a handyman at your own house. Take care.